Hey everyone, welcome to Season 4 Invitational Playoffs. We are on day number 2. We've got WJPDTB with Willard J. Bradley versus Nobly the Foreign, representing the Noble Foxes. Both teams finished 10-4. WJPDTB had just the a better tiebreaker. Maybe we can get Drossi in the chat to explain the tiebreakers because they're pretty deep. But Willard's team did have the higher tiebreaker, so they are the higher seed. And so Willard chose the mode since they are the power players, and he chose swordless. So joining me today on this swordless run is the one and only Tracy M. Tracy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to some more. Now that we're in the Invitational League, getting these swordless modes. We were talking beforehand. I don't know that we saw a whole lot of swordless in the open, but this is the second one I know of. I know these two are playing swordless. I know Dante and Asi are playing swordless tomorrow, so I'm gonna get a little bit of swordless action.
Yeah, how do you feel about swordless as far as playing it and watching it?
Playing it, I hate it.
Same, 100% the same. I hate this mode. I want to dash through bushes, dash through
Yep.
you can't do that without a sword.
Watching it, I feel a little bit better about it. Especially I believe we have the version where the bow gets us both the bow and the silvers. So we're not going to have to go drop in again and get a silver's hint and go find the silver arrow. So that's a definite plus. I agree with you. I think that I'd like to see a nice try and a hook shot. Those are really nice items.
Both items to start out with.
Love that hook shot. But I'd like to see the devs give us item dashing with swordless. That would be really nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I think that would make swordless a little bit more playable.
Yep.
All right, so we see Willard start at Sank, get his hook shot, and then save and quit at Link's house.
Yeah, he got the ice rod. Yeah, he got the ice rod at Sank and the hook shot at Link's.
Got it.
And Nobly doing the uncle check.
Yeah, now he's going south to Kakariko, so a little bit different of a route than I've seen. A third progressive, or an actual trackable item is the third item that we opened.
Yep.
Is either.
That's another thing I'd like to see different with swordless. I really hate those medallions are only useful in very specific locations, and you can't just use them in general. You can use them, so you can use them to open Turtle Rock and Misery Mire, and Bombos can be used in various places to in Ice Palace, so that you can use it when you go through there, and that's it. It's all they're useful for. So
yeah,
it would be nice if those actually had uses in swordless.
I agree. All right, so Willard going south does get a couple bombs from the 50-50 bomb trees or bushes. So heading into Kakariko with 1 rupee and 2 bombs. Nobly checked Uncle, got his ether. There was nothing next to Uncle, and now is doing a tree pull and going. Oh, I guess he already did the tree pull, and then going into the Lost Woods, and we'll be heading to Kakariko from the south. $50 is nice there in the back of the tavern.
So Willard can now buy bombs, or he could go into the little bomb hut and just farm them that way. Let's see what he chooses to do. Or I guess he can use this one. To see if he can get bombs here.
Yeah. We see that there is nothing but $20 on Lumberjack Ledge, so no need to do Aga for that. We still might need that for Dark World access later. $20 in the chicken house.
See if Willard decides to use his one last bomb, or if he decides to just farm them. Now it looks like he's going to farm some bombs here.
Yeah, good. This guarantees he'll have money for the bottle vendor in case he doesn't really open up anyone and not having to spend any money buying bombs. We see 3 bombs in the mushroom spot. So Nobly's got 4 bombs heading into Kakariko. He won't have to do any farming. He'll be able to open everything that's in Kakariko. We see a heart container in the drop down at Lost Woods as Willard heads up to the well. So we saw that the Light World has all vanilla crystals. Shout outs to our tracker, Daruk, for keeping track of that for us today.
Nice to have those easy dungeons with those crystals. Well, the only bad thing is sometimes that means you get some of the longer dungeons. You hope to not have to do them, but a lot of times in these modes you end up doing them anyway. So Turtle Rock or Swamp or Pod. I kind of hate seeing those as pendants, and you just hope you never have to go in them.
Right.
And
you have to guess which one.
It's like, the pendant guess. Ooh, just 10 arrows on the bottle vendor.
Yeah, so Kakariko well, pretty empty. I think the best thing we saw there was a heart container. both of our runners now into Blind's Hut. We see a heart piece, a single rupee, 10 arrows, and a heart piece. One more check. This Kakariko is rather empty.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot here. Got one more shot at it. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Can't, that's you're happy you did it, but oh my god, you almost had the Kakariko skippable Kakariko.
Totally. So we see there a glove in the back of Blind's Hut, and that is the only item worth any real value here in Kakariko. As the well had nothing, the chicken hut had nothing. The vendor, I think, gave us 10 arrows. So
yeah.
So we still have South Shore. Of course, the glove opens up the back of Escape. We may see Willard sequence break the mountain here, since he did come from the south. He is going to head into the Lost Woods, and being right there at the Lost Woods means he's right near that the entrance to Death Mountain.
Yeah, I like that with the hookshot, and the hookshot's a pretty decent item to see by to get through. Yeah, that bomb just doesn't want to be grabbed.
Killed the crow there, and just the bomb landed just a pixel short of being able to be grabbed. It does get the 3 bombs in the mushroom spot, though, so there's that. Up to 5 bombs there. And, no sword to navigate through the dark room. The
hookshot work, yeah. This hookshot works pretty well. I'm a fan of the hookshot or the boomerang for that. There are some people that can do it with the flute and the sound if they have my CRT doesn't have stereo, so that just never gonna work for me.
Yeah, I like actually using bombs. We see bombs from one of the tree pools.
If you have enough bombs to do it, bombs, and also similarly, if you have a bow, you can fire an arrow and use that as a marker. Those are both pretty good ways to do it too.
And it does look like that's what Willard's going to be doing. He is going to check out the lumberjack spot here.
I think we already figured out we're only killing Aga if we need to get there for Dark World. So
correct, yeah, and we still have a lot of information to find.
Yep,
we've got a lot of checks with the South Shore, and of course, there might be logical access up to the mountain since they do have that hook shot. I wouldn't be surprised to see if the lamp or the flute is maybe like in South Shore or something.
Yeah, and one of the nice things, since it is the lamp and the flute that makes this in logic, if you find the other up on the mountain, then you can figure out where, which one of the other one is the one you were missing. And if you get say a lamp up here, it tells you a lot about where that flute is. And it's vice versa. Although I think it's a little more important if it's the lamp you find, just because. The flute is a little more of a hard required item if you have to do Misery Mire, whereas, we'll skip the lamp if we get a fire rod, as long as the fire rod's not fire locked.
We're going to see the back of Escape from Nobly here as Willard gets the Cane of Berna from the old man. We got 3 checks. There's the flippers in the back of Escape, a key, and the blue mail.
Nice. And that Cane of Berna, extra nice in Swordless. It is a weapon that we can use, although, until we get the hammer, everything we have as a weapon is pretty much going to consume something.
Yeah, for sure.
So that hammer is like that thing you really want to find and you hope to find early.
So we see, I believe that's the Cane of Samaria.
I was going to say, that looked like it was something.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get that.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw a stick bottom, so yeah, I think Samaria or a fire rod, maybe.
No, I think the fire rod has a white base, and this was red. So
yeah, okay, it is a Samaria. Yep. With 3 pendants in the Dark World, that Cane of Samaria might not be hard required, but you don't take that risk. You just go grab it.
Yeah. Plus, it's a tool that can be used. Since you don't have a sword, you talked about different weapons.
It is a weapon,
and it's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's very low magic consuming, much lower than the ice rod or the fire rod. So it's a nice little weapon to have and to do things with. And even if it's not required for Turtle Rock and Mire, it does occasionally pop up as a required item for GT. So it is definitely not something you leave behind.
Yeah, nice to get it out of the way. It looks like Nobly's going to be skipping out on Spec Rock for now, so not picking up.
Yeah, he could save and quit back to the mountain and get it then. It's not too big a deal.
Sure. So we see
and there's our first sword.
Yep. Inside of Paradox Cave. So all of the swords have been replaced with green 20s. So we've got 5 more checks here in Paradox. Of course, none of this is in logic, but that doesn't really matter quite yet. 20 bucks, 10 arrows. There's 300, which is nice since we did find those flippers in the back of Escape.
Yep.
There's 10 more arrows, and there's
and more money. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I could definitely see. I like the back of Escape play. We'll see if Willard decides to do that before heading to South Shore.
Yeah.
If he has those flippers, then he'll be able to. Both runners will be able to full clear the Zora area.
Yeah, that's always for Nobly. He does have those flippers, so finding these 300s, it's got to be a nice feeling since he hasn't been to the South Shore yet. See, on the floating island, just 3 bombs.
Yeah, not gonna get those. We'll get one more check here.
A long spiral cave, which
is longer without boots.
Walk slowly through.
Although with boots and no sword, it kind of sucks too. So
yeah, I'll tell you this: playing swordless, getting like the first item being your hook shot is very,
my
very
god,
nice.
That is such a nice item here.
It does a lot of work.
And the hookshot's my favorite item in general, so I'm always happy to see it. But yeah, in swordless, a hookshot, it one-shots a lot of enemies and it stuns most of the rest, so it definitely makes things a lot better.
Yep.
This will be back of Escape from Willard.
Yeah, so Nobly finishing up Spiral Cave, get his $5. Willard gonna pick up his flippers and his blue mail. Does get this key. I don't think he'll do Dark Cross because the map is still available,
if the map can be in Dark Cross, I don't like to do it.
Yeah.
It's easier from the front anyway, in my opinion. So, you just pair it with the front of Escape whenever you decide to do that.
Definitely. All right. So now we're going to take a look at South Shore on Nobly's side. And I imagine with that save and quit, we're going to see Willard follow right behind.
I think so.
Looked like Nobly might have done Mini Moldorm Cave first, but changed his mind.
He was thinking about it, but yeah. There's our Moon Pro. So we're 2/3 of the way to Dark World.
And it looks like that's what Willard is going to do. He's going to head to Mini Moldorm Cave, and I imagine he's putting off the dam to maybe combo it with either Swamp or Agina's Cave. We see.
You might be able to. You might end up comboing with Agina, but he's not going to be able to combo it with Swamp.
Correct. Well, I think what he's thinking for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That is, the dream. Yeah. You don't get to see that very often, but every once in a while.
All right. So in Mini Moldorm Cave, we have a blue boomerang, 10 arrows, a piece of heart. There's our hammer.
A hammer. So it's Dark World access for Nobly.
And I think Willard is probably just going to head and do the water checks from here. Yeah.
Yep.
So he's going to get that Moon Pearl a little bit after Nobly here.
Yeah, the bigger question is he going to continue all the way to Agina once he gets that Moon Pearl, or he abandon that check once he gets it?
That's a good question. We see a little bit of divergence. Nobly going to the Hobo from Mini Moldorm Cave, with Willard heading to Ice Rod Cave first. I think I prefer
Willard down to one
route.
Yeah. Willard down to 1 heart. Those crabs will hit for 1 with blue mail. So, okay, he's on up to 2 now. So he's a little bit safer.
Yeah, it looks like the stun prize is hearts. So, and does get a nice refill from the heart piece in Ice Rod Cave.
Yep.
You see only $5 from Hobo. Maybe the reason why he's under that bridge. And a save and quit from Nobly. So he's not even doing those water checks. That's a little surprising. He does have Dark World access. So it looks like he's from Sync going to be heading into the Village of Outcasts area. How do you feel about skipping out on all these checks? He's got money. I mean, there's no reason for him to.
I mean, I don't mind the skipping of the water checks right now. I mean, if you get a mirror, you can maybe combo it with catfish or something. But I'm a big fan of doing Hype Cave early and then
Right
coming
away.
up here.
Yeah.
Especially we have 3 pendants in the Dark World. You know, you might Thieves Town might be a pendant. You might not want to do it. No Fire Rod to do Skull Woods. That might also be a pendant.
So he is heading into the Dark World from the north of Kakariko. So we'll see if he wants to dip into Skull Woods or if he's going to head south into the village of Outcasts. Probably give us a map check right away. And we see pendants at Swamp, Skull Woods, and a green pendant over at Turtle Rock. So the dice rod, of course, is more humorous now.
well, I mean, it's just your typical early ice rod means pendant Turtle Rock, right?
Totally.
Also,
right.
we have flippers and hookshot, 2/3 of our swamp axis, and that's a pendant.
A pendant,
but,
yeah.
I know as a non-hover, I'm always happy to have that hookshot early when swamp shows up as a pendant.
For sure. We see our other male in the waterfall ferry for Willard there. Just 10 arrows on Zora's Ledge, and I think it was pretty much trash in the chess game in Village of Outcast.
I think we're going to see Thieves Town from Nobly.
Yeah, he's actually set up pretty well. He does have the hammer and the cane of Burna, so I don't see, and now a bottle with a fairy in it, so I don't see blind being too much of a problem here.
Cane of Burna is really nice for Thieves Town. Sadly, the water checks for Willard not paying out. Let's see what he chooses to do. I guess you got to go South Shore. He could go Eastern, but I don't see it without a bow.
Yeah. Picks up. Yeah.
Okay. Or no.
It changed his mind.
Willard tried to fool us. I mean, there's also Front of Escape. He hasn't done the uncle checks.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, heading over to Saha is not a bad idea. It is 3 pretty quick checks. Of course, we have the information that the dam has the Moon Pearl, so this is going to work out pretty well for him.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll just go straight into the Dark World right here and do Hype Cave immediately, because you're just right here, and it's 5 items.
All right. So I missed all of what Nobly opened in the front of Thieves Town.
Yeah, so other
than that bottle with the fairy in it, but I don't see anything else on the tracker, so I'm going to assume it wasn't anything.
Well, Willard's going to head to Aegina just as he originally planned. So this is one of those locations that if one player gets there earlier than the other, and if it's something big, it can really make a difference. Or it could just be a time loss for Willard if there's nothing here.
Yeah. Willard being pretty thorough in his checks.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I've noticed about Willard's plays. He does tend to be pretty through with his checks, and it's one of those things where being thorough sometimes is really good because you find the stuff in the bad spots, and sometimes it's really bad because you're just wasting a ton of time on things that are nothing. And unfortunately, just a bee in a bottle there, so that's not going to help him out very much. It's like we are gonna get. I'm guessing he's gonna do Hype Cave from Link's house here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Has been constantly farming that rock for bombs, so keeping that bomb count up.
Yeah. Nice piece of game knowledge there. All right, so we see the map in the attic of Thieves Town for Nobly. Now heading into the basement. There is the map check, and we can confirm the 5-6 crystals are Mire and Ice Palace.
Oh, and they're even completely vanilla.
Oh, right.
Don't see that every day.
Nobly is on blue mail, but a lot of the stuff will do a single heart of damage. So has to be careful. It does get a nice little heart dupe there. We see the Hype Cave from Willard with
that to be determined shovel.
There's another 300 red meringue, another piece of heart, and $20.
So a to be determined shovel.
Yeah.
That's all we got out of that. Nobody will get there eventually. So high lamp.
Yeah, blind cell gives us the lamp that gives us logical access to Death Mountain, which our runners have already done. No key, so the key is locked in the big chest.
Always a nice time save there.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's going to do Stumpy and Dig Game as well.
So we still need a lot of stuff. Here we go with the blind fight for Nobly, using the hammer at first. See if he ends up pulling out the Cane of Burner, or is able to just get the blind hammer done.
Now, interestingly, we don't actually need that Fire Rod.
Oh, right.
Depending on whether Bombos or Fire Rod gives us Ice Palace, but we don't need it for Skull Woods or for Turtle Rock. With the lamp, we can always do right side GT with the lamp, so it won't be hard required for that. Do need a bow.
Definitely
hard required. Both Pod and Eastern gonna need a bow for that.
Either need the book or the. Well, we do need the flute.
Yeah.
And we either need the book or the mirror for desert.
For desert.
Crystal number 1 goes to Nobly, 1930, taking down blind, putting that Cane of Burna to work. Now, Nobly did leave the Cane of Samaria up on the mountain there.
Oh,
and
that's right. We may not need it, but we are sure gonna get it.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, between the two of them, we have Turtle Rock, and in Logic, once we get a mitt.
Yeah.
It's not always fun, pendant Turtle Rock, green pendant Turtle Rock. Will it be bait today, or will it be actually required? There's that Bombos.
Your whole discussion about both Bombos and Fire Rod, and here they are, just right next to each other.
Sick kid just giving us all his piggy bank money today, so.
Nobly using a little bit of game knowledge to realize that this is a shop where you can buy a red potion. Ditched the fairy for their red potion.
Yeah, I guess if you still think you might death warp, I actually at 5 hearts I'd rather have the fairy because it's automatic. It's just gonna refill you. Yeah. Once you get past the 7, then I'd rather have a red potion. In general, I'd rather have a blue potion, but you have to go to the potion shop for that one.
So Skull Woods is actually fully completable now.
Yep.
Normally you need a sword to get to the back to cut the curtain. This is swordless. So the curtain is already cut.
And I think Willard might be headed there.
Yeah, I this makes sense. He doesn't know that the Fire Rod is just in Village of Outcasts, but a lot of runners like to treat the front of Skull Woods as kind of basically overworld.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that because there's so many keys in Skull Woods.
Yeah.
But if he comes up again, it's another one of those locations that if you come up with something, he's got a Cane of Samaria to make this room really quick at least.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a little frustrating when you come here first and then immediately find the
It's more frustrating if it's a crystal. He might get his items and just be done with it, never come back. Looks like he's gonna go steal the key. And you can let the hand grab him to take him back to the front.
Yep. As Nobly heads to Hype Cave, we'll get his shovel and trash. And he might head on over to the pod area. Maybe check Pyramid. I'm not sure.
Maybe that's why he got the potion.
Yeah.
To sequence break his way through pod.
Yeah. There's the red meringue and some cash for Nobly. We see the map. So Willard's first 2 checks in Skull Woods are the compass and the map. And then the big key. All right.
Nice. Thanks, game.
Exactly.
This is no longer guaranteed to be a small key.
But it is.
But today it is.
Yeah. Willard going on a little bumper trip there.
Oh my god!
Gosh, this
is why. Yep. This is why I don't call this. I mean, we've seen all the keys, all the map, the compass. If this is a small key, then this is just a. I mean, at this point, it's either a small key or an item. Oh my god! It's 2 items in the 2 items in the back.
All dungeon items in the front.
Oh, it's so terrible. Bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, that's a real feel bad. We see $20 there on the pyramid ledge, so nobly not picking that up. It looks like he's going to be heading over to the pod area. Has the option.
With that lamp, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, the other thought is maybe check catfish, but catfish is such a long check, and
you really want to save it with and have a mirror. You know, you've already put off the Zora area as long as you have. Ideally, you'd want a mirror, so you can mirror into the Zora area and do it then. Of course, mirror is not guaranteed to show up here since we do have Pendant Swamp and.
Yeah, it's gonna show up because we have Pendant Swamp, right?
Yeah, of course it is. That's usually the rule. Right now, you don't mind seeing it because you'd rather be able to do desert from the back with the mirror. But if the book shows up and you end up doing desert anyway, then maybe you just don't care so much.
I wish we had Willard's audio for that one right there as he opened up the fire-rotted C-shaped house after clearing the front of Skullwoods for no value.
Absolutely nothing. He knows the 2 items are in the back, so I mean, I guess if the runners end up going back that way, you know, it's possible that Nobly will just do the front and full clear it. And you know,
he might head back.
It's not a crystal.
Yeah, he might head back to Skullwoods after this because we know that Thieves Town doesn't really have anything, and he's already done the check south of here, so possibility he does that. You see a key in the shooter room, the first check of pod for Nobly.
So not immediately bow-locked.
Willard with the Bombos medallion now in hand.
It's like Nobly's just going to immediately sequence break this. I'm not a huge fan of sequence breaking this before doing the logical checks. The one good thing doing this is if it is the big key here, you are guaranteed to have the big key for when you get to the back. But to me, I kind of find it harder to keep track of what is and isn't in logic.
Sure.
When you do it this way.
So Tracy, where do you think our progression is?
Let's see. Well, there's 2 items. We got that fire rod for a reason. I'm not so sure that the back of Skull Woods isn't going to be the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's that pod or catfish, I guess.
We still have Eastern and Saha too, and the
Eastern
front of Escape.
and Saha. That's right.
So there's still some checks.
Still a few. Yeah, I tend not to like to go backwards, so to speak. So like Eastern and front of Escape would all be backwards checks. I could see Willard doing the front of Escape a little sooner than Nobly, just because Nobly's already done the uncle checks.
Right.
I kind of more feel either this pod play or the Skullwoods. And like I said, the fire rod showed up, so it might have a reason for showing up. Of course, that reason might be a right side big key a right side big key in GT, but we'll find out. Not going to find out a lot about pod for a while because, of course, the front has 4 guaranteed small keys, you know.
I think that was the 4th one that we've seen. Yeah, so Piece of Heart. So we saw 3. So the first one was a key. The 2 bow-locked were a key. The vanilla big key was a key.
Oh, so we are bow-locked because if there's two small keys on the right side, then most everything is bow-locked.
Yeah.
So I guess not going to find a bow since there's only 1. There's that big key.
So yeah, let me think. This one. Yeah, so everything is bow-locked. Everything is completely bow-locked. Because you'd use the key on the front, you'd get the big key, and you'd get a heart piece, and then you're locked out.
Yep.
Nobody thought about hammer jumping there, but it's going to check the other checks first. We see powder.
Yeah, I don't know. Hammer jumping is really more powerful in key sanity in most cases. There are a few niche cases where if you know where there are 2 small keys, and there's that mirror. There's some niche cases where it can save time and allow you to skip some of the known small keys in the front because once you get 2 non-small keys, you know that the rest are all smalls. But yeah, it's in this case, he already checked all the front, so it really doesn't save much time. And now that he's got the mirror, You just mirror out of here. Although I think at this point you save and quit. There's really no reason. You're not going to beat the dungeon right now because you don't have a bow. You need a bow to beat the dungeon. Bow's not going to show up here because you know this is bow locked. So there's really no reason. There's no benefit here to mirroring out unless you're planning to walk into catfish. I mean, not even sure that's faster than saving and quitting and going to the portal or whatever. If that's your plan. Well, we'll see what he chooses to do. Map in the big chest. So item, I believe. Did we see the compass?
I don't think we saw the compass. I missed some of it though.
Okay, he's gonna mirror. Okay, this makes sense. Mirror into the eastern area. At least you Saha. And that could be our progression. That mirror.
Well,
which is not the progression you want.
Yeah, it could be progression, but we still need a bow because it's all locked by bow. So
yeah,
to get that mirror,
that's true. That's true.
So
we're skipping a step.
The book. Ooh.
Yeah. Desert Palace. Anyone? We have full clearable desert. Fire rod land mode, not too bad if you don't miss your shots. Be nice to have a half magic for that one, but no. Where are we going? I think are we going to Eastern this way, or are we going to back to the Dark World? Nope, we're going back to the Dark World. And Willard looks like he's going to head back to Skull Woods.
Yeah, this makes sense.
He knows there's 2 items back here, so yeah, totally makes sense. And I think with that mirror, we're going to get the catfish Zora play from Nobly.
Do you like skipping out on Eastern here?
I'm not completely against it. I feel like this is kind of a long walk to get to catfish, but you know, for Nobly, it is 5 items.
Yeah, that's true. So, finding that mirror, I think, does incentivize catfish a little bit. He might even stop off and do Graveyard Ledge as well.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Looks like he's not going to do that right now, though.
Nope. Yeah, Nobly has been a little bit more liberal in his skipping things.
Yep.
Like he didn't check Skull Woods, he didn't check Bumper Ledge. Willard did all of that. He didn't do all of the water checks, but will be able to do them now since he did find that mirror and pod. So be able to combo that together is going to make it a little bit cleaner, I think. That book opens up a couple checks now as well. And that was Saha, right? So that is in logic, yeah.
Completely and totally in logic, yeah. I like the desert play right now, to be honest. Might not be full clearable because no boots, but
that's the part that I worry about. Yeah, just 3 bombs from the catfish there. As
for Nobly, he hasn't done a Gina, so it's a little more, a little better for him than it is for Willard.
Nice moth fight for 20 rupees.
Ish.
And the blue pendant. So we've got one more check under the bridge here in Skull Woods. And if it's nothing, Willard's not going to be feeling pretty good. Having full clear this and double dipped it basically. So where do we go? We've got logically, logically, Hera is in logic.
It is because we have that hammer. And
with the hammer, yeah.
And we do have these. I mean, it's a better one for Nobly with that mirror.
Yeah.
If Willard goes and gets that mirror.
Yep. And
out of
nothing
logic
there in Skull Woods, just a heart container. So
yeah, that's a whole lot of wasted time for Willard that he may never get back, unless of course Ped is. Let's see, is there boots could be on Ped, bow could be on Ped. Bow could be on Ped.
No, it can't.
Because where the mirror is, yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Well, mirror's behind bow.
Yes.
Right. So then Swamp Palace. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. So just boots, or Quake.
Yeah. There's not a lot that could be on pedestal.
Not a lot that can be. I'm happy to see Ped dead, to be honest.
Yeah.
Flute could be on Ped.
Sorry, chat. We're not all about that Ped life.
Yeah,
Nobly heading to Hera sees that Kingdom Samaria is there in Spec Rock, so he'll be picking it up. But we do have both of our runners converging here on Hera now.
Yep.
Willard, unfortunately, having to go the long way since he doesn't have that mirror out of pod.
Yeah, but he kind of makes up for it a little bit by the fact that Nobly has to pick up this Cane of Samara that Willard's already taken care of. So,
and Bo might be here, and that would allow Willard to single dip pod. So we see the big key in the cage in the basement. Nice bomb jump there from Nobly to get across the Spec Rock gap. And 10 arrows is our first item, and there is only 2 items here.
Not a good start. See what setup Willard uses for this. Looks like it worked pretty well, whatever it was. And we're going to get a book check from Nobly here, because he has that book. And it's just 20 rupees. And there's the other item.
All right, so nothing in Hera, just the crystal.
I mean, as nothing gets, too.
Yeah.
Like, yikes. Fortunately, we don't have to go to the basement to find our nothing.
Yep. And it's basically, you get your first 3 checks, you get your big key and your 2 items. It's a pretty smooth Hera.
Yep.
Still no boots. Again, we don't know if we're going to need those boots or not. We are looking for the bow, which will unlock that mirror. And then, of course, mitts are the big one. So we're looking for mitts, flute, bow, and then possibly boots and quake.
Yep.
I feel like with the mirror being locked behind the bow's going to come sooner rather than later.
A lot depends on what's actually behind that mirror. But
true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because with the book available at Saha, that mirror is not hard required.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Willard doesn't go into pod until go mode, he's not going to even get that mirror.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
how did Nobly not? I was like,
I did not know.
I swear that was the exact same pattern that Willard got, and somehow Willard fell and Nobly didn't. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch there. Willard gonna give us our check of Spike Cave here.
In logic with the Cane of Burna.
All right, Spike Cave, what do you got? Just a shield.
It's like Nobly also can do Spike Cave.
Yeah, makes sense. Get it done while you're here.
Yep. There's not a better time to do this later. I mean, you could pair it with the myths checks up here, but you're here already. There's really no reason. Looks like we're going to get front of escape from Willard, so he'll get that ether. Yeah,
hasn't done Uncle yet, so incentivized to head over here. Desert's not an option since he hasn't given us Saha yet, so he's kind of down to this or Potter Eastern.
Yep.
So Tracy, it feels like the mitts are probably our next item. Where do you think they are?
Wow, at this point, I think the mitts are going to be readily available. I mean, there's Desert, which would be the slightly further along the logic, but it wouldn't surprise me at this point if something just pops in Eastern.
I think there might be something here in the castle.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either. We're going to find out soon from Willard. Because at this point, we're not getting new spheres opening up very much at all. So these Sphere 1 checks, these Sphere 1, Sphere 2 checks are looking better and better.
Mm-hmm. It looks like nobody's going to check out the Bombos tablet and then...
Yeah,
Desert?
I'm not...
I think that's Desert, right? It's not Swamp.
No, there's no way. I mean, I feel like you don't want to really follow that mirror hard until you have the bow to put it in logic. And if you're going to go Desert anyway, this is an easy one to do on your way, even if it's still out of logic. Whereas going into swamp and really committing to following that mirror. That mirror could be a very late sphere depending on where the bow is. So it's just hard for me to imagine hard following it at the moment.
Yeah. So we see the map there, the first check of Hyrule Castle. That means there is something in the Dark Cross.
Yep.
So Willard gonna want to set up a death warp here. I think he might still have that fairy.
Yeah, hopefully he remembers to get rid of that. The good news is for whatever reason, the green guards do half a heart of damage regardless of whether or not you have no matter what mail upgrade you have. So
it does get the heart refill from the heart piece. It's better now, I guess, than right before. All right, so we got 2 more checks in the front of Hyrule Castle, or the front, and then the Dark Cross as Nobly heads to Desert. And on the ledge, we see $20.
Oh, nothing on the ledge.
The answer.
We will find out whether boots are hard required right now, though.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they are?
Usually they are, but I mean, I think today we might not have them required just because of where the book showed up and. I
agree.
I don't think into logic.
I think they'll be able to clear Desert here. Is my guess. And Willard surprisingly didn't kill the guard or kill the ball and chain guard first. He went to go lower his hearts and then it was just a little odd.
Just Willard, remember to get rid of your fairy, please. There we go.
Good job. All right, so we see a key as our first check in Desert Palace that allows Nobly to continue on, and he is going to head to the right side.
Let's see if this is. I mean, if this is a big key here, we know that it's not boots locked without even checking the torch.
There's the compass. And we have our first item.
All right. Okay, we are boots locked.
So it's Eastern or Dark Cross is our progression now.
We might hit Eastern at the same time because it wouldn't surprise me if Willard goes straight over to Eastern before going into pod at this point.
Yeah. Nobly back into the Dark World. And we see the mitts.
Ah, there we are.
In Dark Cross.
Okay. I mean, technically that with the lamp being sitting in Thieves Down, that is a later sphere check, so granted, you can just do it without, you know, a lot of people will sequence break that early.
So, oh man, so now Nobly heading. Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's got Samaria. You've got red mail, so that's not really much of an issue.
Is Nobly going to Swamp?
Going into Swamp Palace.
Oh, I really, really, really don't like this. You've got an out of logic mirror, and you're going to go follow it into Swamp Palace. I don't like that at all. Ice Palace, fully in logic for Willard. Makes a lot of sense.
So we are on the hunt for the bow, which will unlock the mirror. Boots, and then possibly the Quake medallion.
Flute? We need a flute for sure. Yeah, we don't know if we need the Quake or not. Sure.
You see Bombos there on the floor of Ice Palace. That's where you can, in Swordless, use the medallion. As you mentioned earlier. All right, here we go into Swamp Palace. The big key is our first check for Nobly.
I mean, at least you don't have to worry about, big key being on left side at the end if you choose not to do left side right away, or big key being in the back if you do left side right away.
Right.
Just you have it right away.
There's the big key in Ice Palace right away for Willard.
Yeah. Yeah, for him, it makes it easier to, decide just not to hit that switch because.
Yeah, yep.
I never hit the switch unless it's like key standing. I just don't have the big key, or I'm in go mode. But in this scenario where you're still checking things, there is a couple layouts where it will punish you if let's say the big key's in Dark Cross and you get iced tea.
Iced tea room.
If big key's in iced tea and you get all the items really quick, then it is going to punish you with a time sink to actually go get that. Get the last item, or you'll have to get the big key to get to the boss.
Yeah, so getting it early is pretty nice. We see our first item is $20, and there is a small key in the spike chip room. And not checking iced tea first. Gonna check the free Zora room first. For the map. Okay. And
there's a heart container.
Man, now are you almost tempted to just do...
It's tempting, but it's not that far out of the way to do this check, and it's so like it's one of the hardest of the things you could skip in dungeons to get back to.
Yeah.
We are going to do left side first, it looks like, on Nobley's side.
There's at least one item, I believe, guaranteed over here. And the last item is on Argus, so...
Of course. Because, you know... Or Cold Stare, even.
It does not... It just feels like for... Yeah, excuse me, for Cold Stare. Yeah. For Willard, he's got to be a little bit frustrated, you know, doing these full clears and not having anything kind of break his way.
Yep. Well, the good news for Willard is Swamp Palace is a much bigger time sink than Skullwoods, even the way he cleared it.
Definitely. Like he obviously doesn't know this, but when you're playing these seeds and you know he get those mitts as late as he did, you feel kind of like, oh no, did my opponent? You always imagine your opponent
did all the right things,
everything. Yeah, exactly. So you know, you can sometimes get a little frustrated with yourself. Hopefully, Willard's able to remain calm. Nobley has been flying through the seed, but those bits are going to elude him. And if there's nothing here in Swamp, he's gonna lose a significant amount of time.
I like starting off with the Bombos here, so you can have as much Fire Rod magic as you possibly can have, so you don't have to completely do this with the hammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, having red mail for this actually is pretty nice as well. Putting that Fire Rod to work.
Oh, very, very nice Cold Stare fight from Willard there.
Yeah. Well done.
Was able to a couple of hammer shots to start with and finish it off with some Fire Rod with splash damage. Very nicely done.
So if you're Willard, where do you go next? The mountain? Or do you go up to the mountain, Dark Death Mountain, do Hookshot Cave and stuff? Or
I think I like the mountain play, but here's the thing I don't like about the mountain play. It's that you've got most likely a Turtle Rock that's available to you. So now if you go to the mountain, that you have to make that decision. Do you go in? I mean, I like the Turtle Rock play better than I like the Swamp play. It is fully in logic for Willard right now, assuming it's not Quake. So the question is, if you're Willard, do you go in? And you know, there are some that say if you can go into Turtle Rock, you do it.
Yeah.
And you know, his other options, Bolus Eastern, Bolus Pod are not great. Smith's Chain, Mirrorless Smith's Chain, not great.
Yeah. So, if there's anything in Swamp Palace, it's going to be on the boss because we haven't seen anything of real value. Just a couple of heart containers. I think if you're up here and you don't find anything in these 6 checks and you're able to get into Turtle Rock, I think you got to dip it.
Yeah, I think I would here. Like I said, your other choices are pretty crappy. For all you know, you find a mirror in here to make Smith Chain better. You might find a bow in Turtle Rock, but we've seen that many times before. It is full clearable except Mimic Cave. That would be really evil if there's an answer in there.
Gosh, if like the flute is in Mimic Cave, that'd be really
I know, right? That'd be so bad. Also, we get the forced menu fight of our Argus here. But I think if I find something that opens a dungeon in one of these checks, I think I leave.
Yeah.
And follow that item.
All right, into Super Bunny. Just 3 more puffs here for Nobley. We see another sword.
Another sword.
And a heart container.
And heart containers are not bad things, but definitely not what you're looking for. But, you know, nice to have 11 heart. You know, I want more hearts in swordless than I want in normal mode.
Sure.
Hookshot Cave, piece of heart. Piece of heart.
And
a mushroom. Oh, that's so bad. Now we gotta turn it in. Yeah, whole lot of nothing in Dark Death Mountain, so I think you go in.
Yeah, Turtle Rock.
Now, the one place I would use the mirror if I'm nobly once I get those mitts, I probably do the Smith chain a lot sooner than I would if it was without the mirror. I mean, because the mirror doesn't change the logic of the Smith chain; it just makes it easier to do. And of course, we start out with a small key. Turtle Rock's similar to Pod, even though it's not quite the same guarantee of small keys up front, but you mostly get your small keys up front, your items towards the back. And yes, Nobly hasn't done Stumpy and Dig Game yet, so he's going to do those right now. The best thing I think Willer could find here is a bow. Boots would be good too. Boots doesn't really open as much for him because he doesn't have the book or the mirror to get into desert. Two and a half hearts getting out of roller room. Oof. Not exactly healthy. And no longer has that fairy, but could grab another one with the bug net. Not sure where he's gonna get one, but and Magic Bat on Nobly's side is just 20 rupees. I kind of feel like he should be turning in that mushroom sooner rather than later, just because you went all the way through swamp for nothing, and all you got was that mushroom. But without the fluid, the mushroom's a pain to turn in. He's gonna get his money off a sick kid. So Willard's handling this Turtle Rock pretty well with low health. It doesn't have powder. Oh, hey, there's some boots. So that was one of the good items that he could find. And we now know that Turtle Rock is going to be hard required. Boots don't really open up a lot for him right now. It opens up Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. And a ped check is just couch cash. Which we basically had, decided most of which wasn't going to be a thing. There wasn't a whole lot left that could be there. Well, it's still at only 5 hearts. But probably just gonna go ahead and full clear this, because, I mean, you got the extra item for the green pendant. There is... I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone do this, but if ever there was a time to do it, this would be it. Well, never mind, you can't do it without mirror. There is the Fairy Ascension Cave that you can get to with a mirror. Willard won't have that option, because, no mirror. So never mind that. And we do see Nobly in Skull Wood, so he's gonna get a whole lot of nothing in the front. Probably go to the back. If he had gone to the back first, he could have gotten his nothing in the back and never even touched the front. And Willard's still doing a good job of handling this low health Turtle Rock. All the way up to 7 hearts. It wouldn't surprise me if he takes the safety door here. Oh, there's another sword. Another heart container. That's not bad in this situation. 50 rupees. And the compass, so there is going to be an item on Trinex, I do believe, and we also do have the green pendant.
So Nobly really needs to hightail it to Dark Cross.
Yep. But he's gonna finish off Skullwoods first. And we got those boots out of Turtle Rock for Willard, and a couple more items to come.
All right, so we got the Trinex fight, which isn't much different than the fight with like Fighter or Master Sword. You're gonna do this anyways with the hammer.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing with the hammer, there's really no difference here.
Yep.
Also, that red mail gonna help out here too.
Definitely putting the work in. Yeah. So boots open up the 2 boots checks, obviously, and then there's one more item in desert. It allows him to finish desert once he gets his book.
Oh, there wasn't an item on Trinex. Okay, but it does get the green pendant. And that green pendant is going to incentivize him to go to Saha, so he's going to get that book, I think, very soon.
Yeah, which will take him away from Eastern Pod, which is...
Probably fine.
I think good, right? Yeah, like we don't know where that bow is.
And the bow could just be sitting there at Eastern. That's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
But Willard basically done with the mountain. I mean, he could want to come up here for the ether check, but like that's a lot of time sink for one item. I don't see him. I think we're gonna see these checks first. It's like he's gonna do bonk rocks first.
Yep, take advantage of the boots that you just got out of Turtle Rock.
And then I think you turn in the green pendant and get the rest of Saha.
I really thought we'd be getting that bow a bit earlier.
Yeah, me too.
But that mirror so far has unlocked Bumpkiss. I mean,
I'm just not even convinced. I'm not convinced I mean, with the book showing up with hookshot to get across the mountain, that mirror may not even be part of the progression chain at all, other than just being a nice extra item. And nothing in the bonkable stuff.
So we're down to Eastern or the rest of desert, right? Like, I think that's all the stuff that we haven't seen.
Where is he going? Okay. Yeah. I was wondering where he was thinking of going. And it's like, I mean, you could have gone the other way. I mean, I think it's quicker to save and quit to Link's house to get to Eastern, but I mean, in NMG, it looks like shovel. Yeah, the shovel check is fine. NMG, of course, you run from Sanctuary, but in NMG, you're not allowed to save and quit. So, of course, you're going to do it that way.
So where's Nobly heading? Is he checking Graveyard Ledge from here?
I imagine so.
I think he'd have available.
Nothing at the dig spot. Back to the house.
Where do you think the bows are? Or the bow is? Is it Eastern or Desert? What do you think?
I mean, the smart money would say Eastern because there's 3 items versus I think 1 left.
Yeah, 1.
But I am still kind of feeling that there's something in Desert.
And you know what? It might not even be with the bow. It might be the flute.
Yeah, could be the flute.
Green pendant turn in is the flute. Oh my goodness.
Speaking of the flute.
So
that is such a good find.
So unless we need Quake, you really don't need that mirror. Like the mirror does absolutely nothing.
I mean, there's still a few spots available. Like there's still
This
have Trigger
this.
Ledge
This is the last spot, right?
Checkerboard.
Oh, checkerboard, right? Yeah. But it's not going to be the bow, so it has to be Quake. A required Quake.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, bow can't be behind mirror.
Yeah.
So yeah, the mirror's not gonna. Yeah, it would have to be Quake, and we're gonna find out in just a second where that what medallion we do need for Misery Mire. Yeah, and this is why I said earlier, following the autologic mirror, just I didn't like it. Like use it for Smith Chain because Smith Chain is faster.
Yeah,
with a mirror. Use it for.
Of course, Nobly still doesn't have those mitts. I mean, an hour in, he still does not have.
Nah, you just and those mitts are in. I mean, it's not an early sphere check because technically, logically, because of the lamp being in Thieves Town, but it is a check you can do. Yeah. I mean, with hookshot, that's not a hard check to do in the dark.
Yeah. So
and Will are gonna let go of his B and gonna get some blue potions, I think.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Or red ones. Maybe get one of each. It is a little bit faster if you get one at a time. I get different potions, but.
All right. Do you think we need Quake?
God, I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna need Quake.
Okay, so we're gonna go into desert first, and that makes sense because without the mirror.
No mirror. Yep.
Yeah, you can just flute out of desert.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, it looks like Nobly is gonna finally get his mitts.
Yeah, if you're Nobly, you got to be feeling pretty bad having full cleared and out of logic swamp for 0 value.
Yep. Did he still have this? He still hasn't turned in that mushroom, has he?
He just turned it in. Yeah,
okay.
It was like 5 rupees or something.
Ugh, nothing.
Trash, 20 rupees or something.
Which we knew it wasn't going to be at this point. Again, unless it was Quake.
You know what's funny is Willard might not get the mirror.
I think there's a really good chance he doesn't get the mirror because he's essentially bow mode at this point.
Yeah.
That mirror was in the back of
pod. Yeah.
Back of pod. I forget where the big key was.
It was right in the front. It was the bridge chest. Yeah.
That's right, bridge chest. So if you get it, if you have a small key and a big key at the bridge chest, you just go beat the dungeon. So that'll slow up potentially like a big key routing in GT.
But Willard's got a pretty big lead at this point.
Yeah, I think he does.
Because nobody still needs to go all the way back up to Turtle Rock. To not just get the boots, he has to finish it to get that flute as well.
Yep. So this is what I talked about earlier. You see those large dungeons being pendants, because it just always seems like one of them has something in it. And this time it's Turtle Rock and not Swamp Palace, which is what he gambled on.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, let's see.
Turtle Rock just seemed. Nope.
Okay. Gonna be item on Landmo.
I mean, the seed just totally said do
Turtle Rock. It really did.
Yeah. So we'll see where Nobly heads after picking up his mitts here in Dark Cross. Willard heading to the back of desert, going to fight. Lynn Mullis and CFR Bow is sitting here, which is...
Yeah, I can't imagine that Nobly does anything different than what Willard did from this point. Do the in logic crystal dungeon at ice.
Yeah.
And then, probably make the decision to go up the mountain. Might see him do Smiths earlier. Because of that mirror, like that's the one thing the mirror does that I like that you just do is Smiths because it's just so much faster with that mirror.
The problem is just going back there, right? Like Village of Outcast area is pretty much cleared out. There's no. You're going there just to do it without the flute, without the boots. I mean, the mirror does make it convenient, but it's not convenient to get there at all. So
nope, not at all. We're going to save some magic by using the lamp, which means he can grab the magic pot here and have 8 full shots for the fire rod. Which is really nice when your other option is the hammer. The hammer landmo is terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, half magic actually would be nice if it
Half
showed
magic
up.
would be great here. You know, the other thing would be great here is a bow.
Oh yeah, for sure. And mode not cooperating completely, but it looks to be good. And there it is.
And it's not desert. So now we're down to bow and mire, bow and eastern, I think, or Smith chain. Yeah, Smith chain is still a thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. This seed is awful, by the way.
It really is.
Such a slog to get through with boots and Turtle Rock and mitts where they were.
But we're gonna get the. I think we're gonna get the mire clear first. Although,
Yeah.
gosh, ugh, if he doesn't find that bow, this Vidi fight is gonna be a thing.
Right. Definitely.
10 bomb. Probably throw those bombs and use hammer strats. I don't think. Yeah, and it is bombo. So
we are.
Yeah, we are in bow mode.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you really hope that bow is just sitting right here.
Here, yeah. Definitely.
Oh, just the single arrow.
The tease of the arrow. All right, so into Mire Willard is going to go, hoping to find that bow. Otherwise, we're down to Smith Chain in Eastern. And if Bo is just sitting in Eastern the whole time,
I know, right?
It's the worst. It's just awful. I mean, when items are vanilla, it just, I guess maybe other than mitts, it's pretty bad. Like hammer and pod is always terrible.
Yep.
Bow and Eastern is always terrible.
Yep.
All right. Through Mire, can't really, without that sword, can't really do Mire 2 the way you'd want to.
No, and you don't want to use too much magic by using a fire rod, so you can use a little less magic by using the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, almost killed both Wizrobes with one shot, but
also, like that Willard went out of his way to go ahead and get that magic refill.
Yeah, definitely want to keep his magic up.
He does have a blue and a red, so you know that'll help him out through the Vidi fight.
Is the bow here or Eastern, or where do you think the bow is?
I am starting to feel Eastern, just, and of course we get the early Mire big key.
Yeah,
because that's what the game likes to do to us when we're not in go mode, going into Misery Mire.
Yeah, you're just hoping for bow right here in Spike Chest.
But small key.
I think it's worth clearing out the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, because if bow happens to be here, it'll save you quite a bit of time on Vidi.
It means you don't have to go searching for it. It means that your Vidi fight just went from being a really horrible, horrible, horrible fight to one of the easiest fights you could possibly get. So, I mean, that second part alone, I think makes it worth it.
Yeah. So if you're just joining us, the worst thing to happen to Nobly was him sequence breaking pod and finding that mirror, because that sort of led him on a wild goose chase with no progression being behind that mirror. Yeah,
the mirror is, I mean, finding the mirror I don't think was necessarily a bad thing. Following the mirror was the big problem. You know, he saw the autologic mirror and decided to follow it, but it was bow lock, so you're not going to find a bow behind it. I was probably hoping to find mitts behind it, but turns out mitts were chilling out there at Dark Cross.
All right, so first item in Mire was shield.
Yep.
See if the last item is the bow, and is it here? Nope.
Nope, it's right there. Bombs, not a bow.
Okay, so we're down to Smith Chain or Eastern.
Smith
if we
could
get one of those, I think we have some mods in chat. If we can get a prediction for bow, is it Eastern or
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, I see JP in there. You want to get that set up for us?
I think Eastern.
I think Willard should go Eastern first. Not even so much because I think it's necessarily there, but because for him, if it's an Eastern, then it's just you find it and you're done. And maybe you do pod right afterwards, or maybe in his case, there's no value in sequence breaking through pod because the only thing left is the bow, and you're not going to find it there if it's bow locked. Because he doesn't have that mirror, and the Smith chain is just long and annoying. Nobly with that mirror, I think should go Smiths first. Just because it's just a little bit better. But it looks like he's going to do Mountain and Turtle Rock, so he's going to get those boots at least. And
he's going to need to make sure not to leave after those boots, because
hey, we will have Pyramid Fairy after this. We do have one more spot.
Oh, right.
So maybe you do that first? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you don't want to do Eastern first. I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Smith Chain sounds awful too because he doesn't have the mirror. I don't know. I do not envy Willard's decision after this.
No, I don't either. I don't envy him this fight. But this is exactly how I would start it. Just use up all your bombs.
Yep, definitely like this strat.
I would even wait a little bit long before switching over to hammer. And there is that little spot there, I guess, where you can kind of stand and not take damage. But
yeah, but you get knocked into the spicy stuff pretty quickly. I actually like this approach. Just he's got some potions.
Yeah, he's got a red and a blue.
Go whack as many as you can, refill, and then keep whacking. He's got 13 hearts to deal with. The red mail
and red mail.
We're gonna make it so
huge shout outs to red mail here. I think we've said that a few times.
Yeah, the slime is always going to do 1 heart, but it reduces the chances of the eyeballs actually killing either.
Now just needs to hammer this. I'm not sure how many hammer hits this takes. It's a lot.
Yeah. All right, so Nobly opening up Turtle Rock. We'll begin heading into Turtle Rock to get his boots and hopefully stay in Turtle Rock. I imagine he'll stay in because boots don't unlock a whole lot. So
I think have a prediction of the bow is in Eastern or not in Eastern.
Yeah, unfortunately, our it looks like JP's on mobile, so not able to set it up.
That's tough. I wouldn't ask anybody to try and set that up on mobile. I'm sure it's doable, but anything that's difficult to do in general is like 20 times harder to do on mobile.
If it would be a prediction, it'd be is it in Eastern or not?
Eastern or not in Eastern. Yeah. I think we're gonna get Pyramid Fairy here.
Yeah, this makes the most sense. I feel like.
And he might actually go into pod afterwards.
Sure. Yep, he'll get his big key, he'll get his heart piece, and then he'll mirror out. Of course, that is.
Well, he won't. He'll save and quit.
Save and quit. Yeah.
And then I think Eastern for Willard. If it was Nobly at this when he gets to this stage, I definitely see Nobly going Smiths first.
Sure.
Willard also gonna refill his bombs because he used a whole bunch of them in the Vidi fight.
Very expensive, 100 rupees, I believe, for 10 bombs there.
Yep. But I mean, he's got money.
Yeah, just flaunt it. Doesn't matter. All right. Here we go. Oh, wait. Using the hook shot to speed up travel here since he can't dash with the bomb. Gonna check Pyramid Fairy because he has our Pyramid Ledge because he hasn't done that yet. And is the bow in Pyramid Fairy? We see the bow.
It sure is. And that's go mode for Willard at about 112.53, 54. Gets a free red potion as well.
So now we'll be able to finish off pod. It's going to probably, like we mentioned, skip out on the mirror, which is not gonna hurt him too much because he does have quite the lead here.
I mean, he'll potentially, depending on where the big key is in GT, he might lose a little bit of time there, but I don't think that matters a whole lot.
So Eastern completely empty, Smith chain completely empty.
Yep. Yeah, really the only thing that Willard did that cost him a ton of time was that Skullwoods dip.
Mm-hmm.
It just, the nothing in the front of Skullwoods, all dungeon items, and then incentivized to go to the back because he knew there were 2 items there.
Yeah.
In the end, Nobley did that as well. So he ended up not losing time to it, at least not a lot of time. Because Nobley did it all at once. So maybe lost a little bit of time comparatively.
Yeah, Nobley made the decision to follow the out of logic mirror, and in this case, I can understand it. You got the mirror and you kind of want to take advantage of it. Hopefully, there's something behind it, but just turns out that it was not required at all.
Yeah, I mean, if you just stuck to overworld mirror checks, I think that's fine. Because the overworld mirror checks, you're kind like if you're doing Stumpy and Dig Game, you're right at K45 anyway. It'd be silly not to do it.
Yeah.
But committing to a full clear swamp with an out of logic mirror to me just doesn't make a lot of sense. That's all quite the time sink. And
He
so
did
Willard
need
still
a
eats
lot
a
of he did need a lot of items. So kind of hoping
at the time,
it's one of those like it might not lead directly to obviously to the bow, but it could lead to like the flute, or it could be, one of the progressive items could be locked here, and kind of, made that gamble here, hoping for it to pay off. And unfortunately in this seed, it did not work out for him at all. Because literally nothing was behind the mirror.
No, he does have his boots now.
Yeah. And is continuing on.
Which is good, because he needs to do that to get his flute. Willard gets his second key and is gonna just take that right to the back. And as we said, not gonna get that mirror at all.
Yeah, in this case, you're kind of hoping for a very early GT big key. Like Hope Room is the dream, more so than ever, just because you don't want to have to, get to Bob's chest or Compass Room and have to death warp out of there.
I mean, in a lot of cases, you just continue walking.
Yeah, that's true.
Like even Stelphos Room, you have to kind of backtrack your way out, which is really annoying.
Yeah. Going through that room in reverse is a bit
weird.
of a thinker. Yeah, because you just never do it.
No, there's never a situation normally when you would do that.
Yeah.
The other good one is there's a, if you're not experienced with not having a mirror, if the Compass Room is the right answer, so long as you already have a small key, instead of dropping down and picking up the other small key, what you want to do is walk to the previous room and let the hand grab you.
Oh, right.
Yeah, a lot of people miss that as a possibility.
I mean, just how often in a non-entrance mode are you in GT without a mirror,
I know, right? Exactly it. Okay, we have a Helma fight at the same time as a Trinex fight.
And down goes Helma, as Trinex kind of getting away from Noble. I don't know if he's got any potions or not.
He might still have his fairy.
He ditched this very early, but that was to get it red for...
oh, that's right. And he used the red for the pod break.
Yeah. And he keeps missing, so he's got to mind his magic here.
Yeah.
There's a save and quit from Willard, since he does not have that
mirror that's just sitting there. You could have full cleared. Could have full cleared it and mirrored into Eastern, but you're not doing that.
No, definitely not doing that. Where's the big key? Is it early big key in Eastern? Because this is what you're hoping for, right? Like you're hoping for.
No, please not vanilla.
This Firehead is not cooperating with Nobly at all. And I don't think he's got enough magic left. Maybe
that
2
would
shots.
be. Yeah, he's got 2 shots, it looks like. Which. I think he missed. Oh, no. And Fairy and B is not helping you for magic.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
You can take a death. But that's going to put him all the way back at the big... Oh, he's going to go for the refill.
Oh, boy. I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually pull this off in a race situation.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. Oh, that was... He got the refill. Oh, he's got the fairy.
He's got the fairy.
Good.
I'm not sure I can even begin to explain how that works. So.
Yeah, I can't explain it. I just think it's awesome. That was really well done.
It has to do with like underflow and the looping back from 0 to like 255. And
oh no! I think he has to do it again. Does he have one more shot?
He should have one more shot.
All right. Cannot take any more hits from the head, though. There we go. Yep. That was quite the train X fight. And it looks like we have a vanilla big key.
I think we have a vanilla big key.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, Willard.
What a rude seed. Oh, no. He got it.
Okay. He just... So that chest is on path. And he doesn't have a mirror. So, that wouldn't be a terrible thing to get at this point. A powder would also be nice. It's also a thing he's not going to get. I want to say that was also in
Swamp Palace, I believe.
Or was it,
was it?
Was it?
I can't remember. It was either.
It was one or the other. It was one of those places that nobly went and didn't go.
Basically, he's not getting it. Yeah.
Yep, that's the bottom line. But it's definitely, he doesn't know that. Those are the things you would hope for. Cape, powder, or Cape doesn't do that much good in Swordless, but it helps a little bit. And then of course the mirror.
All right, with silvers in hand, just has this Armos Knights fight, which will just take 6 quick arrows.
Yep, there it is. And that will be 7 crystals for Willard, and he's gonna head up to GT. No bot, but we can. If you all want to put some guesses in chat, feel free. As we're going to see 22 locations. Well, hopefully we don't see 22 locations. It would be fitting. It would be fitting today.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If you're Willard, guessing tile room. Come on.
Yeah, you're really hoping for torch or hope room. All right, so we're doing a nice job here. Getting his 7 crystals, heading up to GT. Make sure you get we'll put their links in chat. Make sure you follow these 2 runners. You see some really excellent gameplay from both of them. They're nobly doing with the magic refill and that clutch Trine X fight was pretty impressive. And
yeah,
of course,
absolutely.
Take nothing away from either of their play today. Both of them played really, really well.
Oh, and I see somebody put a link into how that refill works, so I appreciate that from Telethar in chat.
Yeah, I could read that and still not understand it.
I know, right? But there are people that are maybe more technically inclined that maybe will understand it better.
For sure. If you want to learn how to do it, then there's some information there. So we are going to get a look at the Smith chain from Nobly here.
Yeah, like I said,
taking a bit of a beating from these Lionels here, and here's what he's doing: he's setting up a death warp.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he's thinking that this key might be deep inside of in GT, and watch it just be open.
It'll be torch or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like this from Nobly in terms of looking for that bow, but
yeah,
you just got a green pendant.
Yeah.
Kind of like the idea of turning that in first.
All right, into GT we go, and he is going left.
But yeah, the problem with this
makes a lot of sense to step the death warp. There it is, number 1.
Oh my God, Willard, you set up the death warp, and now I guess you got to take it because you only have 2 hearts, and you want that refill.
Oh wow,
Oh
that's
my
too
God.
good.
I mean, you knew that had to happen, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's him thinking. It made a lot of sense, especially with the route that he was going to go.
Yep.
He was going to go do Stalfos room.
Yep.
You know, he's got red mail. He's got to take some damage because you're probably going to go left to right. No mirror, and the first thing you see is the key on the torch. Oh, it's just too good.
Also noting that he turned off his silver arrows for that shot to hit the switch to save a little bit on lag.
Yeah, we'll see how he wants to navigate these rooms here through the gauntlet. No sword. Can use the fire rod. Of course, can use the bow, but definitely wants to save some arrows for the end.
Yep. You'll see if he wants to stop and grab a fairy refill in the little refill room. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me since he doesn't have powder to get one later. Mm-hmm. I don't think he got any more potions after he used his Misery Mire. So
yeah, I didn't see him head back there.
No, just gonna keep on going. Also, gonna point out that something we didn't talk about is that Vidi fight required because the bow was behind it. Yeah, Misery Mire was the other red crystal. So we had our vanilla red crystals today. Completely vanilla because it was 5/6 ice and mire.
That's pretty funny. So I believe we saw that stun prize is also heart. So
yeah, I think that is correct.
If he wants to play it safe, he can always pull out that hook shot.
At 1.5 hearts, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's going for it.
But we get to see the nice Silver's Landmo fight that I thoroughly enjoy seeing.
Yeah, always a good time.
I'm telling you, the spring tournament was missing that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was I didn't mind the whole hard mode concept wasn't so much a bad thing. It's just that you just didn't get to see as many different strats because of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, getting a nice fairy drop. Those wizards.
Yeah, that's so nice.
In the great pack, so he's able to get that fairy drop and a full magic refill here. So not something to be too upset about at all.
I conserve magic by using the lamp here.
On to torches 2.
Let's see if he even decides. I mean, at this point, there's really no reason to open anything here. He's going to need to get the key.
Yeah, going to get the key from the mini Helma, and has no real reason to open up anything. I guess maybe you could open up half magic, but that really doesn't do anything. I know Willard is really proficient in Samaria Ganon fights, where you put the Samaria block down and... Oh, wait, that doesn't help. He doesn't have a sword.
Yeah, I don't know.
The hammer. I'm thinking Master Sword Ganon. There is no sword in this.
No, not gonna... I don't think that... I mean, maybe it could still keep you from bouncing away. I don't know.
Maybe,
I've done exactly 2 swordless Ganon fights and used a lot of potions to do it, so...
Moldorm not being kind to Willard today. He knocks him out for the second time. Is able to take him down. We'll see what his weapon of choice here for his Aga 2 fight. He does have that bug.
Yeah, the bug net actually is I'm not a big fan in general of picking up the bug net, but I completely glossed over it when the runners picked it up earlier. For this mode, you want it. Definitely. It is a little bit better than that hammer.
Mm-hmm. And does switch to the bug net here, so See if he's just gonna swipe, do some swipes.
Yeah, it's not quite the same as a sword, though. So
no, it is definitely not.
there we go. I think
Pulling
you
out
got
the
a hit in there.
dashes. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, got a double there.
Another
And
nice
there.
double. Mm-hmm.
There we go. Agatu down.
All right, just have a Ganon fight to go. In this mode, of course, there's only one bow, so you don't have to worry about hunting for the silvers. Because it's one of the worst aspects, I think, of Swordless is having to get to Ganon without silvers, and then get to phase 3 to find out where the silvers are, and then go pick them up, and then go back.
Yeah, we definitely saw that when Swordless came up last year, a few times in the last season of the league.
Yeah.
And and then you could get the really bad hint where it says like, "Hey, the silvers are in Turtle Rock," but then you don't have the medallion for Turtle
Right.
Rock, or even if it's just like Light World or something.
Yeah.
I think there was a seed I called last week. It wasn't a swordless, so it didn't matter. But there was like, okay, the silvers are in the Light World, and the only thing we could think of that was left was Magic Bat, but nobody had found powder. So so now you have to search everywhere for powder. So. The hint doesn't always end it.
Yeah, I want to point out how impressive that phase 2 was.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Able to get it in one cycle there. Ganon really working with him, just going one tile down.
I mean, he was in a good spot.
Yeah,
but it's still. I mean, you still got to execute it. Just because Ganon gives you a good spot doesn't make it easy.
Right. It's where you want him to be, and now can you do it? And Willard did an excellent job. This is a really quick Ganon fight. Just gonna switch back to the silver arrows.
Turn those silvers back on. Even got the torch glitch.
Yeah, probably not even really.
He's gonna get 3 shots before we really even get into the cycle. Wow, this is a really nice phase 4.
That was a very impressive. That was better than most people's regular.
I know, right? That was a really good phase 4.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Willard killed it here. So get your GGs in chat for Willard as he gets ready to cross that bridge and take the second win for this series. Puts his team one win away. Finishes with a time of 1:31:10.
I got 1:31:01.
Oh, excuse me. Yep, 1:31:10 is when the race is over. As we see that Nobly has finished or forfeited the race.
Yeah. Can't say that I blame him at this point.
No, not at all.
That mirror just took him down a rabbit hole that he never recovered from.
Yep. And we are joined by today's winner, Willard J. Bradley. GG's, my friend.
Yeah, GG's.
Hi, thank you. That was a funsy.
Yeah. We're also joined by Nobly. GG's.
Hey, GG.
GG.
All right, so who wants to go first? Initial thoughts on the seed? Tell me what you're thinking.
I got my early hammer, which was nice. I wish I had it before I went up. I sequenced Rogue Death Mountain, so I could have done Hera then and there. But that's okay. I forgive it. But yeah, the seed could have been so much nastier than it was. Honestly, I was getting nervous towards the end just because when you're an hour in and you haven't been to Eastern or Pod. And you're just like, I have to keep committing to this because if Bo was just chilling in there, then
yep.
And it could have been, but I'm just happy that I just kept following the chain of items I got, and it led me to what I needed. So
yeah, I mean, you could have looked yourself in the mirror. It would have been pretty nice.
I think I was going through GT, and I was like, man, I really hope the mirror isn't in GT, just so it could be a bait for my opponent to go the wrong way. And then I talked to Nobly in chat after the race. He's like, yeah, I got the mirror out of Pod. I'm like, oh no, yes. I'm so sorry to hear that. That sucks. I mean, it really does. Like, I'd be really upset. So if
yeah. I mean, it was a bow-locked mirror too. But at the time, Noble, you had lots of things that could have been behind it. So yeah, you followed it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't follow it. When I was 4 items away, I was like, okay, diving swamp instant after pod is probably a super nice way. But then I was like, I couldn't do Hera when I was up there because I didn't have hammer.
Right.
And I didn't check spec rock, so I was like, okay, I might as well do that. And then I found red cane. I was like, okay, now we're missing flute, boots, and mitts. Okay, that's 3 huge items. One of them clearly has to be behind.
All you needed was one, and none of them were there. Turtle Rock instead turns out to be the pendant dungeon you need to dip. You see those when you see those big item pendant dungeons. You know, it's always okay. Which one is going to be the one we need to go to?
Well, it was like it's the only dungeon I can beat right now, so I might as well go there. Like that's nothing else makes sense. And I already went to Skullwoods twice, which I'm still mad about. Go to the front, get all the dungeon items, and then immediately get the fire rod. I was
we were hoping through audio there.
Oh my god, that Skullwoods play for you was that was so painful to watch.
It's rough because sometimes you can go over there, you get both items, you're like cool, I'm done. I don't care about this dungeon anymore, or you get that, and that's usually how it goes. So, but yeah, it's funny because right after I went and I was about to. I don't know what I was about to do, but I'm glad I went down and checked the dam to go to Agana's cave and got the moon pearl. But I said to myself, I gotta say, it still feels a little light before heading to the Dark World. There's gotta be another, item or two, maybe out in the Light World somewhere. And of course, Mitts and Dark Cross and that book in Saha's closet.
I mean, don't feel too bad about Dark Cross. I mean, logically, it was behind the lamp, which was in Thieves Town. So
yeah.
I mean, not that you couldn't have sequence broken it, but I'm not sure it's high priority.
The last thing I want to do is drop into the back of Escape and sequence break Dark Cross for the map. So that's why I didn't do it then.
Yeah, I totally
agree. I've been playing so much open mode, preparing for this race in particular, that I'm done with Uncle Route forever as like the starting route because you go there, you get that, and then you end up last location in the front of Hyrule Castle.
Yep.
For the most part. It's so I usually, if I'm gonna check that, I'll wait until I actually have a weapon so I can do that. And if there's something on Uncle, then whatever. I mean, I'm just glad the boots were super late. That is the one thing I was.
Yeah, I mean, the ether did end up being hard required since it was your entry into Turtle Rock, but
Well, here's a funny part about that. This is the first time I do an open Uncle route in 3 months.
You hate to see it.
And the funny part is I told my mentee, never start Uncle, because you're going to last locate this Hyrule Castle. And then I was like thinking, because I was like, okay, Willard, he never starts Uncle because he doesn't like that. And I was like, okay, this might be a good idea. And then I did it, and now it feels really bad.
Well, hey, that's the thing. I just remember that the ether that we needed for T-Rock was at Uncle. So there still was 3 more Light World items you could have got before going to the Dark World. Like 3 more progression items, which is just kind of nuts if you think about it. It's a lot of items.
Another funny part, I did Back of Escape super early. I was thinking about doing Dark Cross from Back of Escape. But then I was like, nah, you know what? There's a map still in play. I can do it from later. I was like, gosh. If only I did 1 extra check.
I think like if you had like the fire rod or something, you would like that. Like
fire rod or the
like
lamp.
Fire rod or lamp. Like if that's a map, whatever. At least I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yep, exactly.
So when I did Back of Escape, I immediately found flippers. All I had in my head is don't go to South Shore. So I went to the mountain and like hoping for some rupees. Found 600 rupees, and then I went to Dam and Mini Moldorms, found Moonpearl and Dark Axis. I was like, okay, I might be able to combine Zora now with Catfish Check. And then
you did.
Hobo. And I did. I got it.
You combined it, and it was nothing. I mean, to be fair, Willard did the Zora check straight up, and it was still nothing. So.
Yeah. That Death Mountain was useless. Was there anything on Death? There was a cane of Samaria. That was it.
There was cane, and there was lots of money. That's what I remember.
Burna. Those were the 2.
Oh,
those are the only things up on Death Mountain outside of dungeons were 2 canes. I felt good about the sequence break because I did South Road up to Kakariko, so I was like, I'll take my one thing out of freaking Kakariko was just the glove. There was nothing there either, just the glove. And went up and did that, but I really wish I had not done. I should have held off on East Death Mountain just in case the hammer was available, just because that trip up to Hera, looking for my next progression, which ended up being Mitts, felt pretty bad. Just to go up to Hera for 2 junk items. It's like, okay, that's 2 mountain climbs. But
yeah, in the end, the entire mountain, just the stuff in Turtle Rock and the canes, like that was it.
Yeah. I think the main factor of why I went into Swamp Palace basically was because I was missing 3 items and Titans was still MIA. So I was like, okay, if I find Titans in Swamp, I can just search everything in the, like everything I have left if Swamp has the mitts, you know. Or if it has the flute, I know Meyer can never have a bow. I will never touch Meyer. So
I was ready for the bowless Vidi fight, and I'm so glad I had like 12 hearts and red mail. I just stand in the goo and hammer all of them. It was great.
Yeah, that was. I mean, and it was required because the bow being at the Pyramid Fairy, and that was your other. That was your 5, 6, your 6 crystals, since it was completely vanilla. Yeah, you didn't have a choice. It was you're gonna have to do the bad Vidi fight no matter what. So
yeah,
and you handled it very well.
The only part I was like starting to get worried about was whenever I clicked off something on my map, all I saw left on my map was Ice Road Cave, Ice Road Cave, Ice Road Cave. I was like, this square is never being checked off. Why? Why don't?
Right, I forgot you skipped that.
Yeah, and then after Skullwoods had nothing, Swamp had nothing. I was like, okay, Graveyard Ledge and Mushroom. This is the only thing I have left after Bowlocked Pod. And I was like, okay, this is fine. I'll find mitts. And Willer didn't do Pod, so he doesn't have Mirror. He went to Turtle Rock and then Mimic Cave. Mimic Cave will have my answer.
Right, yeah, there's your big bailout right there.
Yeah. And then, nope. And then when I found Boots, I was like, oh, do I just leave now? Nah.
After T-Rock, I had a big moment after checking the 2 useless boot spots for bombs. I was like, do I do Smith Chain now? Or do I go check Saha Green Pendant? Because if there's nothing at Green Pendant or Saha, then I'm going full in on the Eastern Pod play. And then, if Saha just had if Smith just had the bow, then I'm putting myself in a pretty bad spot. So I am very glad that I got bailed out by Saha.
Well, we knew there was a book there. We did not know that you were going to pull a flute there from the Green Pendant.
It's so stressful putting off East Palace area for like a full hour. But like, after an hour, you just have to. Sometimes you just have to commit to that play because like you don't want to undo all that time that you save by putting it off.
Yeah.
If you go there and then it's nothing, and then But yeah, GG's. If there had been, if the bow or any of the other things had been in like Eastern Pod, or instead of the book in Saha's closet, it was like the frickin' flute or any other item, it would have been completely different, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it too early, but I did it right after Pod because I got mirrored there.
Yeah.
So my idea was I skipped Skullwood because I always skip Skullwood most of the 90% of my seeds because I don't like front of Skullwoods. So I went straight to Thieves Town. I played very aggressive after my early Death Mountain play and Mini Moldum, so I just skipped Agina, skipped the Ice Road Cave. I'll do these later, skipped Zora, and then went straight to Darkworld. Got my first Thieves Town Crystal immediately. Got the lamp, so I was like, okay, Pod might have something, but it might be bow locked. And then I found a mirror. I was like, oh, I don't really want to follow this mirror. But at the bright side, this gives me Zora and Catfish at the same time, which I wanted to do, which was nothing. And then I was like, okay, we're stuck with Front of Escape. 2 checks on each side of the light world. Desert, which was like the bigger play, and Swamp Palace, which was bow locked. And if I got those mitts, I would have gone to TR because I was like, okay, probably a bow is behind TR at this point. And it was somehow, but not in the way you wanted it to.
Yeah. So yeah, weird seed all around. Willard, I know you were I was watching you play the other day, and you were starting to wonder if you should even stay on swordless. I guess you're glad you ended up with this one and you pulled it out.
All I wanted was an early hammer, and I got it, and the rest is history. Like, the rest doesn't matter. The worst thing is you play a swordless seed and you got a hammer in like Pod or Ice Palace, and then it's just like you're taking the one thing that I need the most and put it in the worst spot.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I still think out of the 4 available options, it was either going to be this or MC Shuffle, but I've been so spoiled by SG Live's hard item pool that I didn't want to do hard MC Shuffle because I didn't want to use the old item pool because it's obsolete.
Yeah, I like the SG Live shuffle better with the, because I hate the like you just skip a piece of heart. You know, there's no reason to ever pick up a piece of heart, but like it actually means something if you skip one in the SG Live pool. I just along.
Exactly, and just like get rid of half magic but give you the blue mail.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that I liked about it, so I'm kind of hoping that setting might become more of the norm, if that's a possibility.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But yeah, I'm glad this seed went good. GG's. I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, I just had the chat open, so someone was asking me about the Trinex fight. That was a.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
What happened?
I had to unseal my magic back to get.
You almost had to do it twice.
Yeah.
Like the drop bomb, shoot arrow.
Well, apparently we didn't have arrows, but we had a red boomerang.
Oh, right.
I was like, because for some reason I was standing too close to the firehead, so I shot through it, and then I kept missing it. So
you gotta do backdoor strats, man. Did you do backdoor?
Well, no, but at the same time, I also
backdoor. I'm talking louder. I'm talking over you. Sorry.
Also didn't buy potions before I went there, so.
I didn't have any either. I had a B, I think.
Yeah.
Neat. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. I was happy I had a fairy for it.
And it's good that you were able to finish it out since that green pendant was hard required. So.
Oh yeah, and also I didn't take safety door, so I would never return.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun seed. It was a fun game. Got to show off some cool tricks, and we got to play games. That's what mattered.
I like games. I liked playing games. Thank you, Nobly, for playing games.
Yeah, and GG Gamer, and thank you Tracy and Fair for doing the comps.
Yeah, I was about to do the anything else that you guys want to add before we close this out?
Stay tuned to In the Name of DT versus Hayfield Bay in some cross keys tomorrow at
tomorrow at 1 o'clock?
1 Eastern. Yeah. A lot on the line, so should be good.
Yeah. I think Bayfield Hay has some knowledge about doing cross keys, so we'll leave it to him. And
see if he can keep you in this one, huh?
Yeah, and then game 4 is going to be interesting, I hope.
Yeah, good luck to both those runners, and good luck to both of you moving forward, and both of your teams.
Yeah, thanks for doing comms and tracking and everybody watching. Appreciate it.
All right. So yeah, that's going to do it for this match. We do have a lot more coming up tonight. In about an hour at 7:10 p.m. we have Swirly Coin Brewing versus Did You Check Your Boot? That'll be Homemade Beer versus Rampant Revenant. I believe, let's see, that looks like it's Casual Boots. That'll be right here on SpeedGaming. At 8:10 we have a pair of matches. We have Shack Tools Digging Game versus the Titansmiths. That'll be Hitaka versus Sailor Nep. That'll be over on SpeedGaming 3. That is also a Casual Boots match. And also at 8:10 we have Tile Rummies versus Pug Trio versus R.D. Walsh versus Solski. That'll be over on SpeedGaming 2. I do believe that is a Cross Keys match. I'll shout out the first 2 matches that are going on tomorrow. One, because the first one's at 7 o'clock in the morning. So as you all get ready for work, if you're working on Wednesday, because we do have the holiday week for those of us in the U.S., that'll be Team Jaime versus Error 216, Dragon Strike versus Error. That'll be over on SpeedGaming. Looks like that's going to be Cross Keys. And then the aforementioned 1 o'clock match, WJPDTB WJPDTB versus the Noble Foxes in the name DT versus Hayfield Bay. That one does not have a channel yet. We'll see if Hayfield Bay can keep the Noble Foxes in it, or if DT can finish it off. And yeah, that'll be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. I'd like to thank everybody, to our runners, Willard J. Bradley and Nobly the Foreign. GG's to both of them. To all of you out there in Chatland, thank you for watching. Fear Agent for coming in at the last minute and joining me, and Dark doing the tracking. The tracker's always the MVPs of our broadcasts because we couldn't do it without them. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. Hope to see you all at the next match at 7 o'clock tonight.